Cleveland.com reported that LeBron asked the Cavs not to trade Kyrie Irving, and that Irving then threatened to have season-ending knee surgery if there was no deal. Dominique, if that's true, that Kyrie threatened to have surgery, who looks worse here, Kyrie or LeBron?
Dan Gilbert. Like, it's kind of always my answer.
Yeah,
but,
I'm with you, the Cavs.
But to be respectful of the question, the idea that Kyrie used season-ending knee surgery to get some leverage, like, I don't have a problem with that. I do kind of have a problem, as much as this segment has been me loving LeBron, I do have a problem with a player getting into another player's business and trying to redirect his career. Advocating for guys to come on and sign, and that is fine. But if a guy wants to leave and take his talents elsewhere, as LeBron took his talents to South Beach, somehow interjecting and going behind his back to the front office and saying, don't trade him. Like, I don't like that. I don't like when guys speak out if a football player is holding out and someone on the roster says, well, we need him in here. Like, those are the type of things that I don't appreciate. You let a guy do his business, you don't get in the way of it. If LeBron wanted to go and talk to Kyrie and try to talk him out of leaving, that's one thing. But going to the front office behind his back and saying, don't trade him, like, I don't respect that. And as underhanded as it may be to threaten to have knee surgery, I'm fine with using whatever leverage that you can, because players don't have much leverage in professional sports.
Who looks worse, the guy running away from the burning house or the guy standing in the middle of the burning house with a match in his hand? I would imagine the guy with the match in his hand. That's LeBron in this scenario. Kyrie got out of the burning house. Now, I was really, really critical of Kyrie for various reasons, mostly, pseudoscience and looking down his nose at us and acting like we're all dumb. But Kyrie, I've also begun to understand a little bit. I think I've said it on First Take. I know I've said it on the Will Cain Show. I've begun to understand his explanation of, I just want to be realized as a basketball player. I want to realize my full potential. And the kind of basketball we were playing in Cleveland and my role wasn't how I envisioned, me as a fully actualized player. And I get that. I get that, Kyrie. I get what you're talking about. And I think it makes the decision to go to Boston much more, or at least to get out of Cleveland, much more understandable. And what did he leave? He left an organization that right now, it's funny, we have these debates, and a week later I get to use as evidence the way I was right a week ago. But it's not normal. It's not normal what's going on in Cleveland. This isn't a normal winter, January, February swoon in Cleveland. Set aside that it's awful defense. It's fingers being pointed, it's blame, it's escape routes being planned, and whose fault is it? And it's just a mess what's happening in Cleveland. And if you don't think LeBron's a big part of that, then you're just an apologist. I like LeBron. Dominique, I love the story. By the way, just because I think Tom's is a better sports story, I love LeBron's story. But I don't think he's faultless. And when it comes to the Cleveland drama, he's integral. And Kyrie saw it and hightailed it.
Yeah, he's not faultless, and no one is faultless in this situation. But where I take issue with what you're saying is that somehow you had a problem with what Kyrie was doing when he was trying to get his way out. But now that you see that it's falling apart in Cleveland, somehow that justifies Kyrie's decision. No, he wanted to take his career in the direction that he wanted to take his career, and that's fine. You only get one chance to kind of live out your dream, and these guys are fortunate enough to be in the NBA, and he wants to fully test himself and go out on his own away from LeBron and not have LeBron pull the strings behind the scenes. Like, I respect that, whether Cleveland is burning down or not. And I do, as I mentioned before, I don't like when players get into other players' business and limit how much money they can make or limit their mobility. Like, players should encourage and support any type of player empowerment. So as much as LeBron is about player empowerment, I think he's about LeBron empowerment overall. And that's why I look at this situation and I think he is more at fault than anything. But overall, Dan Gilbert's to blame. I don't know why, but just blame Dan Gilbert when you're not sure who else to blame.
Yeah, because the Cavs had 2 years left, Kyrie on his contract. LeBron had one. Let it play out. See if LeBron's going to leave, and then call Kyrie's bluff. Like, he's really going to have surgery if you make him stay. Come on.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Dan Gilbert can't control that. And look what Kyrie saw. Look at this. Kevin Love is at fault for everything, like he always is apparently in Cleveland. By the way, if somebody needs to get out, it's Kevin Love. Kevin, quit being their punching bag. Don't be their scapegoat.
I've been arguing that
it's not your fault.
We talk about in the NBA how there's so many heel turns, how Westbrook goes from villain to we love him, and LeBron goes from we love him to villain back to we love him. Like, I'm waiting for the Kevin Love heel turn. I'm really rooting for this. Like, I don't like how everyone piles on him in the media. I want him to look directly into the camera and snap and go off on everybody in the Cleveland roster because, like, they act as if he wasn't the one who defended Steph Curry at the top of the key. They act as if when in the championship to help them win. They act as if he hasn't been an invaluable part of this process. Like, I hate the way that because, again, back to this player empowerment, I don't like people going behind his back. Like, I want him to fully snap and go off and tell everybody from LeBron all up and down that roster how valuable he is and how he's not going to stand for this. And he is not the problem with that team. And it bothers me to no end how it seems that they throw him under the bus.